Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Today we're making a dish that's not only very easy to make, but it's packed with an insane amount of flavors. We're talking Spanish mushrooms with onions and garlic. Now the beauty of these mushrooms is that you can serve them as a tapas appetizer, a side dish, or even add them over some pasta or even white rice for an incredible main course. Either way, these mushrooms are effortless to put together, filled with so much goodness, and done in about 30 minutes. Alright, let's begin by getting our ingredients ready. I'm going to cut one medium-sized brown onion into rounds that are 1/4 inch thick, which is a little over 1/2 centimeter. And as you can see, I cut off a little bit from the bottom of the onion, that way it perfectly sits in the cutting board and it doesn't roll around. Then we'll roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, finely grate 2 tomatoes, and for the final ingredient, we'll grab 1 pound of white mushrooms, which is 450 grams, add them into a colander, and give them a quick rinse under some water. And you just want to do this for 4 to 5 seconds, that way the mushrooms don't absorb any of the water. And we'll pat the mushrooms completely dry, making sure to remove any of that excess dirt. And let me tell you, by giving the mushrooms a quick shower, it makes it so much easier to clean them. For the next step, let's start cooking our dish. I'm going to grab a large fry pan and heat it with a medium-high heat. Once the pan is nice and hot, we'll add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. And we'll immediately add in the mushrooms. And we'll mix them around, that way they're all coated in the olive oil. Then we'll place them in a single layer and cook them for exactly 2 minutes without mixing them around. After 2 minutes, we'll mix the mushrooms around, that way they're all evenly sauteing, and then once again place them in a single layer and go for another 2 minutes. And we're going to continue to cook our mushrooms in this method until they're light and golden brown, which takes between 6 to 8 minutes. Once the mushrooms are lightly golden brown, once again between 6 to 8 minutes, we'll season them with a kiss of sea salt and some freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the seasonings are evenly mixed into the mushrooms. And then we'll remove the mushrooms from the pan and set them aside. Now using the same pan, I'm going to lower the fire to a medium heat and add in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. Then we'll immediately add in our sliced onion and we'll mix it around, that way it's all coated in the olive oil. And since we're working with a very hot pan here, important to mix the onion around frequently, that way it all evenly sautés. After 6 to 7 minutes and the onion is lightly brown, we'll add in the chopped garlic. And we'll mix this continuously, that way the garlic evenly sautés, and go between 30 seconds to 1 minute. After 1 minute and the garlic is lightly sautéed and beautifully fragrant, we'll add in 1/2 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.25 grams. And we'll also pinch in 1/4 teaspoon of saffron threads, which is 0.17 grams. Link where you can get the golden saffron I'm using in the description box below. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the spices are evenly coating the garlic and onion. Then we'll add in the grated tomato and season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together and then simmer it for a couple minutes without mixing the mixture. After 3 to 4 minutes and the grated tomato has slightly thickened, we'll add in the sauteed mushrooms back into the pan. And we'll give it one final mix until everything's well mixed together, and then simmer it between 1 to 2 minutes. That way the mushrooms can absorb all the flavors in the pan. After about 2 minutes, this dish is ready to go. I'm going to remove the pan from the heat and transfer everything into a serving dish. And for the final touch, we'll sprinkle it with some chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, Spanish mushrooms with onions and garlic. Beautiful presentation, incredible aromas coming out of it, and all done in a little over 30 minutes. Let's give them a try and see how they turned out. Seriously, this has to be one of the most beautiful dishes we've ever done here on the show, and it smells absolutely fantastic. Here we go. Wow. First things first, the mushrooms are beautifully sauteed. They have such a great texture to them, and they've absorbed all the flavors, the pimenton, Spanish paprika, the saffron, that tomato sauce, and then the garlic and onions, taking the mushrooms to the next level. And you saw this easy to make, done in a little over 30 minutes. Once again, the perfect dish for any occasion, side dish, appetizer, or even over some pasta rice for an incredible main course. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Daniela Brandt, John Kachanowski, John Dayan, and Hel Gonzalez. Again guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below. And as always, don't forget to share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego.